Hello, Mayor Jeff Schielke speaking to you on Friday, May 21st, 2021. And I've got a few things to announce and report that I think are in a positive direction. First and foremost, I think the one big question I've been hearing from people in Batavia is, are we going to have a 4th of July fireworks program this year? And I am pleased to report that the Fireworks Committee met this past week and the decision was reached to, yes, go ahead and fire the show at its usual location at Engstrom Park on West Main Street, right to behind the West Side Fire Station and across the street from the Batavia High School football field. We had, as you may remember, last year was the first year in 70 years that we couldn't fire the show. And so we got a credit from the fireworks company for, basically we had to pay them half the money that we had paid them up front to fire the show. So they gave us a credit, so we had some money to start collections with, and we're still asking for individuals and businesses who would like to make a donation to please do so, because we're getting near the amount we need to run the show, but we're still a little short. But as I've said before on this program, we take great pride in the fact that we've always been able to fund the entire fireworks show, as far as all the stuff going up in the sky and all the pretty decorations have been always paid for by private donations, and we've never used any tax dollars to buy any fireworks in 70 years. And so this will be either the 70th or the 71st show, depending on how you look at things, given the fact that last year we had an absentee year in firing because what should have been the 70th year show was never fired. So that's just kind of a minor point in the rear of this whole thing, but as a point of great pride, it looks like the Batavia Community Band is going to be ready to make a performance prior to the beginning of the fireworks show. And we've put the word out, at least initially, to some of the food trucks we have in town, and several have indicated to me that they're very interested in coming over. So we hope to make this another return to normal day in the history of Batavia, with the return of the fireworks program in the great and grand fashion that it's come to be. And as I've told you, I believe before, the Batavia Police Department always describes this event as the biggest traffic jam that we have in Batavia during the entire year, because at approximately 10 o'clock at night, when the show gets over with, we have more people trying to move in all different directions across Batavia than any other day or time of the year. So it is, at least for a few minutes, a very challenging situation, and we've learned that we shut down certain streets and get things opened and closed and whatever, and the police department does a masterful job in doing that. So I just wanted to take my hat off and commend them and the Batavia Fire Department for the standby jobs that they do. And in the early days of the show, the members of the Batavia Fire Department used to fire it. Now, with the advent of the computer and the intense comprehensions of things that have to be done in doing that, we now have to turn to private companies who that is their business to fire the show. So that's part of the fee that we're paying, is for that to be done. So again, the Batavia 4th of July fireworks are planned to be held, and I'm very happy about that, and we look forward to what we think is going to be a very large crowd, because in talking to some of my fellow mayors in the region this past week, I've been party to several discussions where it appears, while nobody wants to really say it, the governments at all levels are hopeful that Illinois will return to somewhat of a normal life, without the masks, hopefully, and without a lot of other issues after Labor Day. That will be kind of the date when we hope to get things somewhat back to normal and all businesses can reopen. In trying to make things work better for us, the City of Batavia is going to reopen City Hall to all departments this coming Monday. So that will be there on the 31st of May. We will open the building up for everybody that needs to, 23rd of May, I'm sorry. 24th of May. Boy, I'm reading my calendar here and I'm getting the wrong dates. The 24th is the day we will open the City Hall up, and you will be able to come in and do whatever you want to do. Right now you have to come in and fill out forms or put them in a mailbox or ask questions at the police desk, and it is a bit complex, but we were trying to keep social distancing and abide by all the rules of the pandemic, so we wanted to be good stewards of it. On Also, another good piece of news is that on Saturday, the 29th, the Batavia Boardwalk shops, all now 10 of them, last year there were 8, now there's going to be 10. It's all going to be new businesses, and they are going to open up on the morning of the 29th, and or is it the 28th? I guess it's our opening on Friday the 28th. I got to get my date straight here. Anyway, they are going to open up next weekend, so that will be there. And we will be looking forward to that. There's a lot of interest in that. We have a lot of new folks with new ideas, and what I'm very pleased is that there was a number of the folks that were in the boardwalk shops last year have kept themselves in business and have opened up in new locations scattered throughout Batavia, including 3 or 4 of them, I believe, in the old Johnson Crane Funeral Home up on East Wilson Street Hill. So we do have some significant continuity of that, and it's brought some new business to town, and we look forward to them opening. And then on the Saturday, let me get my date right here, June 5th, I am told, will be the first day of the farmers market on River Street in downtown Batavia, and I guess we have to wait a little bit later in the year to open that because we got to give the farmers a chance to grow and put together products that they want to bring in and sell. So we have a very busy summer session planned. We're returning to the way it used to be with the farmers market and the boardwalk shops and the fireworks in the offing. And I know the Batavia Park District and some of the folks that plan other events, our Chamber of Commerce, are all busy looking at what we can do to kind of return Windmill City Days and the party in the park and all these other things. And I'm not going to speak on dates or details on those yet because I don't know them all, but I know there are discussions going forth to do all those things. The fireworks show, going back to that for a moment, will be starting about 9:30 that night, and it's generally about a half-hour run. So 4th of July, about 9:30, you should hear some booms and bangs around Batavia as we return to the sky with the beautiful colors that show does present. I also this week have been informed of yet another summer event. For a number of years, and last year again we didn't have it because of the pandemic, the Batavia Access Toy Drive, which last year we distributed toys to over 700 children in need throughout the Batavia community. They're going to have a fundraiser, and that's going to be on Saturday, July 17th, 2021, down at the Batavia Moose Lodge, and it's going to be a comedy night for Access Toys, and the lead performer is going to be Patty Vasquez, who has done this before. She's a longtime WGN radio personality with the Patty Vasquez Show, and she's been on the TBS network as a very funny show, and the Lipstick Mom Tour. And so she's going to be, she's a WGN radio personality, and she's going to come out and be the MC for the Access Toy Night. And tickets will be on sale for $10 a piece. They'll be sold at the door. And we encourage all of you to come. There's going to be some raffles, and all the benefits, all the money raised goes to the Access Toy Drive. So we appreciate the help of Dottie Fletcher, a Batavia resident who has helped put all this together and has contacts with Patty and others in the entertainment world. So we thank Dottie publicly here for again putting this together, and it is a show that I know a number of Batavians look forward to going to and attend. We continuously have big issues that face us, and some people it's bigger than others, but we continue to have people complaining about sometimes the length of time it takes you to get across town. That is, a situation this summer is specifically being challenged because of the ongoing work, which hopefully soon will be completed over on South Batavia Avenue between First Street and Elm Street. And then we've had a lot of construction in the downtown area, not in street, but in the streets by the Northern Illinois Gas Company. And that has taken up and slowed a lot of traffic down, so we're hopeful we'll get that out of line. And as always, that always creates the conversation about, gee, Batavia should look to try to build another bridge. And as one who's been through that experience before, as you may remember, we came up with an idea to build a second bridge at obviously had to go to referendum, and the referendum was turned down by Batavia residents. So it may be a question that the city council will want to bring up again, but I will tell you there is no easy answer to it, specifically at what the cost may be and what those costs may have to, we may have to find the money if we do it. And I'm not sure how that's all going to flesh out, but that would certainly be something for the city council and myself to be talking about in the next 4 years as we move ahead. Batavia is a place that we are very, very proud of, the amount of new business that's moved in beyond the Boardwalk shops. We've had a lot of conversations with a lot of different folks, and I guess by next week we'll be announcing some new businesses going out on Randall Road, including some on the spaces immediately to the south of the Raising Cane chicken restaurant there on the east side of Randall at McKee Street. And so we've got a lot of things happening. The pandemic hasn't slowed us down or stopped us. If anything, it seems to have encouraged a lot of people to start to think about opening up a business. And so Batavia's got a lot of positive synergy moving forward. The other thing that the pandemic did was it created, I think, a feeling of pent-up demand or pent-up want to go out. And so we are anticipating that the 4th of July fireworks program this year could be very well attended, because there's a lot of people that just want to get out and spend some nice night in the summer breezes and see their neighbors and friends and relatives. We've noticed a significant amount of activity on the Fox River bicycle trails. We've already had several groups of 50 to 75 bicycle riders come through town, not from Batavia, from other places, many of whom have stopped and eaten at one of our restaurants or made a stop at a store or something. So it has been a business generator, but we do have a lot of activity going on, and because Batavia is kind of a major intersection on the bike trails on both the east and the west sides of the river, and we allow for the bridge that takes you from one to the other, we do have an inordinate amount of traffic that goes across the downtown area on bicycles. And again, I would encourage everybody that's riding a bicycle to please abide by all the safety rules of bike riding, and please watch your what's around you and the pedestrians that are here, because we certainly don't want to have any bad things coming from what we're trying to be as a bicycle-friendly community. And finally today, as I've started, I try to find some pictures that the old timers in the room will get a kick out of seeing, and newly arrived residents will say, gee, that's what happened there. So the first picture I want to show is this one, and this is a picture of what used to be referred to as the Kane County Home, which was on Fabian Parkway, right about where the entrance now is to what was the Settlers Hills landfill. And there is a water tower in this picture that is still there, standing today, but most of the buildings in the picture have all been taken down and been replaced by the landfill. And this was where, for many years, if you were an elderly citizen in Kane County and you didn't have the money to stay in your home, you could sign yourself into the Kane County Home, and it had a field of farming around it. And so they used to raise a lot of stuff, and it really was a very blessed situation where they took care of a lot of people who needed help in their senior years. And so this is a photo showing what it looked like when it was here in Batavia. The other photo I want to show is one that's out of the Batavia Fire Department annals. And this is a picture taken in, I am told, March of 1971. And it shows Fire Chief Bud Richter standing talking to, I believe, Mr. Bob French, who was the manager of the then newly opened Walker Muffler factory, which is now part of the Suncast operation out on Kirk Road. And there's a barn behind that Chief Richter and his men had just lit on fire, and the picture was taken of the start of the fire. We have some other pictures of the barns when it burned down. But up from the ashes on this scene became the location of the 290-unit Batavia apartment complex, which is still there today and highly active and used by a number of residents. So this is what the Batavia Apartments complex area looked like prior to the start of construction of the Batavia Apartments. And the other picture shows the old Kane County Home, which was dismantled and basically taken out of business and shut down in the late 1960s and early 1970s. It was transformed into the landfill, which for many, many years took all the garbage for most of Kane County. And so now, I guess, as we look toward the future, there's people that envision that most of the landfills that were created someday may be mined, and everything in them will be removed out and used to burn or disintegrate for making electricity. And so it may be some years away, but there may be a whole new movement at some point in time to totally return the landfill site to some other type of park use or whatever, because a lot of people are saying now that you can use valuable land that was used for landfills and make them into other productive operations. So that's it for this week. I hope everybody's had a good week. I hope everybody gets to go to lunch with a friend or somebody that they really like, and family members, whatever. We've got a lot of new restaurants coming, and we have some already opened. So there's plenty of places to eat and socialize, and that's all part of this coming out that we are now starting to experience as we move forward from the corona pandemic. So have a great week, and I will look forward to talking to you next Friday. Thanks.